Check. 1, 2, 3.
The D.
Brief.
This is the D Brief.
Your guide to Detroit.
Your guide to Detroit's
arts and entertainment scene.
This is the D
Brief.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm your co-host. My name is Seth Ressler.
I'm Becky Scarcello.
And joining us again for another day, we have a guy that you can see every morning on Channel 4, Local 4 News, WDIV, from 4:30 to 7. And he has got a brand new album out. It's called Just Evrod. Welcome back to the show, Evrod Cassimy.
I came back for a second day.
I know.
Yay.
We had so much fun yesterday.
Yeah, you couldn't just leave.
Right.
We don't make you get up early in the morning. That's
But we might make him stay up a little later than his
That's
bedtime.
okay.
We're going to see if you're any better at trivia today.
No.
Than you were
I can honestly
yesterday.
tell you I will not be, but
Yeah.
let's give it a shot.
Yesterday was a little disastrous for all of us. So I'll try to make this one. I don't know. Maybe this is easier. So Super Bowl 40.
Oh, here we go
was
again.
here in Detroit. We had the Super Bowl theme all week. So in Detroit, 2006, Super Bowl 40. Who sang the national anthem
Who sang the national anthem
in Detroit?
I can tell you who didn't sing the
in
national anthem.
2006?
Okay. Who?
It wasn't Demi Lovato.
Nope.
Nope.
Because she's this Sunday.
Wasn't
It
Roseanne
wasn't-
Barr.
It wasn't me, and it wasn't you.
No, it wasn't Lady Gaga. Wasn't Christina Aguilera.
Who would have been big in 2006?
2006.
Well, think about national anthem, though.
Green Day.
Maybe it was someone closer
Mailer-
to home in Detroit.
Aretha Franklin.
Ding, ding,
That's
ding.
it. Yeah, that's what I was
Really?
thinking.
You got it.
I should have known that. She's on my album.
I know. I want to ask you about
Yeah.
that.
Well, let's ask. How did that happen?
Yes.
How did that happen? Well, so I've hung out with her a lot. It's no surprise that she was a dear friend. And I remember one time she had called me and said, "Hey, I'm rehearsing for the Pope. She's going to be singing for the new Pope in Philly." And she said, "Do you want to come? And do you want to watch and maybe, bring the news Local 4 cameras?" And I said, absolutely. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon. And I remember specifically it was September 11th because it was just a few days before my birthday, which is on September 17th. And so I ended up meeting her, and it was right not too far from here. It was on the at the Westin in Southfield.
Oh, sure.
Right off the lodge. And so she was, she had her piano guy there playing for her as she was rehearsing what she was going to sing. And I said, I was like, my birthday's coming up in a few days because I didn't think I would see her before then. And she sang happy birthday to me. And so we were recording that. And I just kind of kept that tucked away. And I was trying to figure out a way to pay homage to her on this new album. And as I'm thinking and kind of reminiscing about things that really meant a lot to me, that came up, plus an interview that I had done about her after she had passed away, never getting to hear any of my music. And so that's kind of like a little interlude on the album.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
Well, here's the cool thing, too. She sang the national anthem with Aaron Neville
Oh,
and Dr. John.
wow.
Because it was the year after Hurricane Katrina.
Oh.
So they did, and New Orleans is a big time Super Bowl host. I think they had 9 Super Bowls by then or something like that. And so they did a tribute to New Orleans and, kind of a shout out as they were recovering from Hurricane Katrina. So. So, Evrod, I wanted to ask you, so you've got your musician side, you've got your TV news side, you're also a family man, you got your sons, your wife. Like, how does that all balance together? Do you try to keep the lives separate or?
You said
how's
that
it
like
work?
it does balance. It's completely unbalanced, I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Okay.
I kind of go to things that need the most attention at that time. And that's kind of like the juggling act. I might have a son who needs attention, practicing for basketball or learning Bible verses for his church group, or my wife may want to go out to a concert or whatever while I'm in the process of getting ready for a show or writing new music or recording new music. And you kind of just give whatever needs attention the attention at the time. And somehow you make it work, whether that's going to bed early or staying up late at times, and just do the best you can.
Yeah.
And that's why the album is called Just Evrod, because it's like, listen, this is just me, take it or leave it. I included all the things that are important to me on this album. And it is what it is.
Well, you're doing a good job of faking it
Well,
because
thank you.
I follow you on social media, watch you on the show, and it just seems like you got it all covered. Like you kind of like, hey,
Is that the
I'm
impression
here.
I give off?
Yeah, and I thought it was so cute when you interviewed Monique.
Yeah.
And she brought up that you were putting little blueberries in each section of the waffles that you serve your kids. And I'm like, that's the cutest thing. And then you've got to prep to be on TV every day.
Yeah.
So you make it look fun. You're always smiling.
Well, I am always smiling, because I woke up in the morning. So that's a great place to be and something to smile about.
It's good perspective.
And I love what I do each and every single day. I love my wife, my kids, music, news. I love the show every single morning. And when you love what you do, it's not work, So, yeah, that's why I smile.
How do you juggle the public personas? Because, 10, 15, 20 years ago, what you do on television would have been public. What you do on the album would have been public. But people don't necessarily have this glimpse into the behind the scenes. And now with social media and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff, people can see all that. And I struggle with this as a guy who, there are some people who they know me as a radio consultant.
Yeah.
Right. And don't know me in any other lane. There are some people who know me for doing this podcast. Not very many.
No,
There are
I
three.
know what you mean. Yeah. There's different hats you wear.
And they're different hats. And for example, if you go to Seth Wrestler, like you won't find me tweeting a lot about Detroit. You'll find me tweeting a lot about radio broadcasting. But how do you balance that? How do you decide whether when you're using your social media profiles, is this going to be me as a newscaster? Is this going to be me as a music artist? Is it going to be me as a parent? Is it all of the above?
It's all of the above. I figure I just need to be who I am. And I'm going to show you all aspects of it. There's a few things that I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to let you see where, I try and keep a few things private.
Sure.
But I'm going to show you as much real as I can be, I show you, a lot of times what I'm doing with my kids on the weekend, case in point. I don't think I've actually put the waffles on there yet, but I will do that.
But it was in the interview with
It was in
Monique.
the interview.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
You gave her the news.
Yeah. But, you see me at the recording studio. Sometimes you'll see me at my kids' sporting events. When my wife and I go out, concerts and stuff like that. I figure, you know what? I'll just give you everything, whatever people want to see more of, they tell me. And, I try and share as much as I possibly can.
Were you always like that, or has that changed over the years?
It's definitely changed over the years.
Yeah.
Before, I was very, very much private. I didn't post a lot of stuff that was personal because, the killer is very real.
Yeah.
And frankly, I felt that there were certain things that I needed to keep to myself and professionally. But now it's like that whole wall is gone, and people see you more visibly. They want to see more of that too, and I found that, just be yourself and people will see that you're being authentic.
Well, I would think too, you have a platform, so why not use it?
Yeah.
You're not going to try to keep the music separate. Like,
Right.
You can talk about it on air, and so why wouldn't you? Yeah.
And I feel like if I have interesting things to share from any aspect of life, then I'll share all that. There's some days where I'm interviewing Monique and things are great, or we've got something fun on the show or funny on the show. I'll show all that. And then sometimes my kid is, dancing around to Justin Bieber Yummy or something like that, so.
Yeah. Well, I think it's cool to show that vulnerability too.
Yeah. It is a little scary at times because you're
sure.
like, all these people are watching and people always, I think it's the scariest when you go out in public and people see your kids before they see you.
Ooh, yeah.
And they know your name. Or like if my wife is out with the kids and I'm not there and they know her, then I'm like, wow, people are really watching.
Oh, how does she feel about that? Or how do the kids feel about that?
They understand that that's what comes along with their dad and husband being on TV, so it is what it is, as long as they're safe, and they haven't been in any situations where they haven't been unsafe. So
the other thing that must happen is that there must be people who wake up with you every morning, and so they feel like they know you.
Yeah.
But they really don't. I mean, you ever have people who come up and kind of have conversations like they know you? And
Absolutely. And
you're like, I don't know you.
But here's the thing. So because I meet a lot of people, I'm not sure if I've met this person or not.
Right.
So you kind of have to just be involved in the conversation as if you know them.
Yes.
because there's a good chance that you have met them before and they remember that, but you might not. So I find a nice way to let them like remind me of your name again, just in case I have forgotten, especially if you only meet somebody one time.
Right.
This happens to me in my day job because I have clients all over the country that I don't necessarily see face to face a lot. And so one of the things you learn after a while is you don't say nice to meet you. You say, hi, how are you? Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
something
absolutely.
vague and open-ended so you don't say anything silly.
Oh, yeah. It's the worst if you've met somebody a couple of times and you throw out the nice to meet you. That just, no.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's best to avoid it.
That's what I say when I see Becky every day.
You're just going to keep doing that.
All right, let's get into our recommendations for the weekend.
All right.
Becky, what do you think we should be doing this weekend?
I think you've got to go check out this new exhibit at the Charles Wright Museum. I'm super intrigued by this. So let's see. Today's Wednesday. It opened yesterday, so you can go see it now. It's called Queen from the collection of C.C.H. Pounder, who is the actress.
Yes.
Yeah,
She was
so-
on The Shield. She's great.
She's really great.
Yeah.
And she's currently on the NCIS show, the New Orleans version.
Oh, wow.
So she's a prominent art collector. No idea, but she has this amazing collection and she's displaying it at the Charles Wright. So it's all African-American artists, and the theme is Black women primarily in all different forms, sculpture, painting, different things. What really caught my eye is a piece by Kehinde Wiley. He's the guy that did Obama's portrait that's in the National Gallery.
Okay.
He does those really realistic, naturalistic portraits of Black people in artworks that look historic.
Wow.
So like the DIA has an amazing piece by him of him riding on a horse.
I've seen that. That piece is
It is
amazing.
he is one of my very favorite artists. It is so realistic and so beautiful. And that whole idea of putting people in art that historically were not represented in art. So he often takes people off the street, literally, and is like, look through these books. What sort of historical setting do you want to be in? And then paints them in it. And the piece that he has in this particular show is a reimagining of Botticelli's Birth of Venus. Okay, most people know that, like the Venus rising out of that clamshell.
Yeah.
So he has it with 3 African-American women in the painting.
If you could get painted in any historical setting,
Would it be rising out of that?
yeah,
What
what
you
would it
go
be?
to?
I don't know.
I don't either.
That's a good
You
question.
guys wouldn't be the David? Michelangelo's David, the sculpture?
No, that would be no.
I'm good. I'm good.
No? I don't know.
All right, Evrod, what you got? What should people do this weekend?
So I think that you need to go to the Shinola Hotel. And why? Because they do live music inside of their space called the Living Room. And if you've never been there, it is, first of all, a place that you need to check out. I always talk about food. Yes, I know, but their fries are amazing too. And you need to go there, check that out.
You're like a French fry connoisseur.
I love French fries, and my best friends know that. Whenever we go to a restaurant and they ask if we want drinks or any appetizers, they always look at me because they're like, "You want to get some French fries?" I'm
They'll
like,
have the fries.
"Absolutely." But my music director for my band, his name is Herb the Artist. He's actually going to be performing there live at the Shinola Hotel inside the living room on February 2nd at 3:30. And it's just for an hour, 3:30 to 4:30 with the band. I'll be there just in the audience watching and supporting, but he is a phenomenal musician. And I go whenever he has a show, I go and support him. And he's phenomenal. He's got a lot of music out on all the digital outlets, and you can check him out before you go. Herb the Artist.
That's a cool place to see live music, too. It's like being in your coolest friend's house.
Yes, the artwork on the walls is very
Yes.
eclectic, and then the couches and the ottomans and all that kind of stuff it's fun. And then they serve you right there, drinks and food.
Nice afternoon before your Super Bowl party.
There you go.
Cool. I got a pick as well. It's a little bit outside of town. The Tipping Point Theater in Northville. It's a very cool little theater.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen a live show in a while, go check out the 39 Steps. It is opening this weekend. It is a parody of a 1935 Alfred Hitchcock film.
Oh,
In fact, the British Film Institute actually ranked it 4th among the best British films of all time.
Okay.
Well, not of all time. 20th century, I guess. That's still pretty good.
Well, that's pretty much. Okay, so it's a comedy.
It is a comedy. It's a parody of this Alfred Hitchcock film, which is itself based on a 1915 novel. It is a murder mystery comedy, and it's running through March. You can get all the details at Tipping Point Theater. Theater spelled T-R-E at the end there, like, all
Fancy.
artsy and stuff. .com.
Fancy.
But go check it out. And honestly, Northville's just a cool place to go spend a
cool
day.
town.
So make a whole day of it. All right, I want to thank Evrod for coming in. The album is called Just Evrod. People can get it anywhere.
It's available everywhere. You can even go to my website to see some videos and stuff like that from our album release party. And yeah, you can go to evrodcassimy.com for that, and you can check out the album everywhere.
And if people want to follow you on social media?
At Evrod Cassimy on all social media.
All right. Don't forget that you can listen to this podcast on your Alexa device. All you have to do is say, Alexa, enable the Debrief podcast. Then you can check it out. And once again, we're going to close out with a song here.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. So the song today is Smokin' Honey by the band Good Weather. So they're a Detroit 5-piece R&B kind of soul group. If you like Stevie Wonder, a little D'Angelo, that's a bit of their sound. They have a EP coming out this spring that I'm keeping my eye out waiting for. But this song is Smokin' Honey, and they're playing at the Old Miami this Friday, January 31st.
All right, we'll check it out. Until tomorrow, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.
You're my summer baby, smoking honey. You keep me on my feet, even when I'm low. I'm a sucker for this kind of passion. Girl, you give me wings. I'm soaring from your love.
You're my nighttime breeze, something cozy. You got me shivering, even when I'm warm. In just a day, it's true, made the difference. All I needed all along was you. It is you. Love is the only thing we need. It is love.
You're my nighttime lady, undercover. And nobody's got to know I'm having fun with you. I'm not trying to hide, pull back the curtain. It's no secret, girl, I'm in love with you.
You're my sweet escape. Take me flying past the skies above. I'm soaring from your love, and I can't believe that I got you. A
Brief.
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.